Singletary, Pierce, or Akers at flex? Who should he start?
Oh, Singletary, Pierce, and who?
Akers, Cam Akers.
Yeah, not Cam Akers. For whatever reason, he's in Sean McVay's doghouse because Darrell Henderson
Yeah.
has been the number one back there, which is one of the most shocking things to happen this season so far. Because I thought Cam Akers would have a big year.
Yeah, me too.
So Cam Akers, nope. I at this point Pierce. I know that Lovey Smith had said Rex Burkhead's my lead back. Did you watch Dameon Pierce the last 2 weeks? I still again, the one reason I made a trade for a wide receiver is because I have Dameon Pierce on my bench. So, and I have Brian Robinson getting ready to come back. So I made a trade because Keenan Allen's banged up. I want to make sure my wide receiver core is all taken care of. But yeah, I would probably go with Dameon Pierce. He's got the higher upside right now, even over Singletary, just because you got a bunch of different factors for Singletary in Buffalo.
So with that being said, you always talk about the long-term game here, long-term game. Who is going to be your guy like come playoff time? Is going to be Singletary, Pierce, or Cam Akers?
I would go with Pierce.
Okay.
Houston's another team that like we all thought would just get rolled over by they're showing they got some grit.
Yeah.
Got a little fight in them. And they're not going to be as terrible as we thought they were going to be. They've quietly pieced together a pretty good offensive line. Davis Mills quietly put together a strong start to the season, and nobody's talking about it. They have some nice little weapons there that nobody's ever heard of. About the only people you've ever heard of on the offensive side there right now, if you're a fantasy football player, is probably Dameon Pierce, because that's about the only person that was worthy of a spot. Now you're starting like, well, maybe I would stash Davis Mills on the bench. You got Nico Collins who's starting to come on there in Houston. So there's a couple of quiet pieces there. Brandon Cooks hasn't made quite the headlines that I thought he would, but he's still going to be their deep threat. But even his fantasy value is limited as well. But again, they're a team to keep an eye on some of those players come later in the year. Dameon Pierce, I think, though, by the end of the year, as he gets more acclimated to that offense, it is going to probably end up being their lead back and being a pretty dominant force.